So if you're thinking about starting YouTube in 2024, maybe trying to revive your channel or just scale your channel, in this video, I'm going to be talking about 7 tips right up front here that are going to help you come up with better video ideas to cut through the noise and all the competition. Let's face it, YouTube has more videos being posted every day than ever before. And so how do you find topics and angles to cut through the noise? I want to share 7 things with you. So number 1 is audience research. One of the most important things to understand is who is your target audience. And then you want to start asking, like, what is it they really want? What are the demographics of your target audience? What are the psychographics of your target audience? I would argue in 2024, psychographics are a lot more important. Demographics are going to be age, ethnicity, and it's powerful to get clear that, my channel's for Gen X and baby boomers, females that are maybe of this skin type or hair color. If it was makeup or beauty, you start getting specific and maybe some demographic type of thing. But psychographics, what other channels do they follow? What are they into? What are the kind of groups they follow, like ways of thinking? Like, do they have political opinions? Do they have religious opinions? That'd be like the psychographics. So thinking about audience research, and the mistake that like most creators make is they don't really have a clear audience, or they think they do. It's like 2 words, like it's like a channel for women. You're like, okay, bro, like you might want to go a little bit deeper. And so audience research is kind of a first layer of really getting to understand your audience. This can go through asking questions, and there's all kinds of layers we could go into, but for time's sake, let's hit number 2. Now, keyword research. Keyword research is the second one. This would be where we're actually using tools like vidIQ, and we go not just find keywords, which would be like the search phrases. A key word would be like the word diet. A keyword phrase would be like best diet for women over 40. It's a whole phrase, but that is a keyword phrase. Then your question is, how much search volume per month does this topic, does this keyword phrase have? And so the powerful thing about actually doing keyword research is you're also now going to look for data. In fact, every one of these you could have data, because you could have data about what's happening with Gen X women, what's happening with Gen Z youth pastors, like knowing your audience. But then keyword research is you're looking for specific search terms, like how many people are searching for this a month. And that's going to give you feedback of what video you should make next. Now, another layer could be topic research. And the difference there would be, okay, keyword research may point you to, there's a lot of interest in kids ministry ideas for 5-year-olds or for a particular age range. You're like, oh, wow, there's like 1,000 people a month or thousands of people a month searching for that. But then the conclusion after that isn't that you're going to make that exact video. What it's actually going to lead you to is a topic. So some people would say keyword research is dead, and they're wrong. But some people would say, okay, it's less about keyword research. But where I would agree with them is like, well, it's not that it's less about keyword research. It's that it's about understanding what are people really looking for, what are they interested in, what are they searching for, and then following that path of breadcrumbs to maybe a topic that isn't so literally a keyword, but that becomes a powerful topic for your next video. And so that's kind of the difference. It's like you're actually just kind of sourcing topics. We could talk about 100 different strategies for doing that, but you're finding what are the best topics. And again, out of your next 500 video ideas, not that you got 500, but not that I know how to select the right camera angle, but out of your next, what are your next 10 videos? What are your next 100 videos? A lot of times people make videos that just aren't that great. And I'm not even to title and thumbnail and content. I'm like, the topic itself is just, I wouldn't have made that next. I probably wouldn't even made that maybe ever. Like find a better topic. And so the powerful thing about doing your research first, why we would say research before you press record, is so that you're better positioned to get better results. Now, community questions. This would be where you start listening. The best content creators are the best audience listeners. I think one of the biggest mistakes that happens, and I know we get busy, and if you're a parent like me or you're in school or something, I got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, just like trying to get the checklist off of the day done. It's hard enough, isn't it? Like we're just trying to survive out here. Like we're just trying to make it. And so the must-do list is like, I got to shoot the video and I got to plan the video and I got to upload it. And then I got to put the trash and recycling out tonight. And then I got to pick up my parents from the airport. You know, you just think about, you're just trying to survive. And so what can fall to the wayside is engaging in comments, reading comments, and really deeply engaging in the community. Because in a way, nobody would know if you didn't do it. You know, like you could get away, like you still posted a video, you still put your content out there. But a lot of times where creators' results start going downhill is because there becomes a widening gap between where they're at and the connection with the actual community. Reading comments, getting feedback. Like if I'm real transparent with you, like sometimes I think even on our own team, we can sometimes get a little bit distant on the YouTube comments because it's hard to keep up with them too. There's a lot of them where we want to read comments on every video and sometimes listen to the critiques, the feedback, the pain points, people saying like, I didn't fully understand that. And that gives you insight into the next move. So the better we listen, the more we connect in the comments, the more we listen. Now, your objection might be, Sean, I'm brand new. I don't even get comments yet. I'm not going to let you off the hook. This is the Coffee with Candle show, man. I got my Columbia pressed coffee roasters, watermelon candy, cantaloupe guava are the notes on this blend. If you were interested in picking it up, link in there. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to get a coffee sponsor. Not really, I suppose, but I guess the Coffee with Candle show should have a coffee sponsor, but I'm not going to let you off the hook if you would say I don't get any comments yet, because if you've done audience research, that means you know who your target audience is. That means you should know where they hang out and where they are commenting and the YouTube channels they are watching and where they are engaging in the Reddit threads or Facebook groups or Discord groups. And you should be an active participant in those communities. So in doing so, there's absolutely zero excuse for why you couldn't get audience insights. So you could be making videos based on the questions that are being posted in the comment sections of your competitor's channel. Let's go to number 5. Okay, number 5, trend analysis. So this would be tools like Google Trends. Is something trending up? Is it trending down? And you want to have a steady resource or a steady flow of what's trending coming your way. This, I suppose, is kind of a skill set and it's a muscle you develop over time. But it always surprises me when someone's in a particular industry, like they're in parenting or their YouTube channel is about parenting, and they're unaware of the top 5 to 10 blogs, written blogs in parenting. They don't know the top 5 to 10 podcasts about parenting. They're not following the top 5 to 10 Instagram accounts about the latest trends or psychology in parenting. They're not reading, like you got to be in your industry. So like when I say trends, like you want to be in your industry, actually living it, consuming it. Even if you're not flying to the conferences and events, why aren't you looking at the recaps online? So why aren't you like really actually in the trends? But then also you should be thinking about macro trends. As a side note, 2 of the big strategies we teach inside of Video Ranking Academy are full-on course, and where we go deeper into these is trend surfing and influence surfing. And you can actually combine those under a term that I would call culture surfing. Like your awareness of what's happening in the culture. Like it would be your awareness of what's happening this year. It's an election year. I was just thinking, I'm going to make a podcast about 5 to 10 things content creators could learn from Donald Trump. Triggered? 5 to 10 things people could learn from Joe Biden or Michelle Obama. Who's going to run? Who's going to run for the, I don't know, who's going to run on the left. And so equal opportunities here at Think Media as far as, because there's things to learn from both sides, but you might be saying, okay, Sean, what are you doing? That'd be culture surfing. What's happening this year, man? It's an election year here in the US. So what's happening in culture? And so trend analysis would just be saying, okay, what's trending? Where are things going? What's happening? And the mistake I think people make is they're like, Sean, I'm not trendy. Like I'm not, wearing the latest. I don't have a Stanley mug. How dare I not have a Stanley on this stream? Okay, niche trend. Anybody got a Stanley out there? The big, okay. How dare I not have a Think Media patterned custom Stanley? All right, relax. Trend analysis, culture surfing, what's happening in culture. So it's part of paying attention and having a flow of information, which I kind of touched on this. Number 6 could be like industry research. So industry research, again, would be what is your industry and how much time are you spending actually looking inside of what's happening in your industry? What are some of the newest things? Who are the experts in the industry? And what is some of the newest stuff coming from them? Like, how many books have you read on your topic in the last, 3 to 6 months? Like, your psychology channel, parenting channel, DIY. And I know books might sound old school and you're like, why would I go old school? It's all digital. I've just found that when you dig into a physical book that's really rich in terms of the research and the quality, that's maybe even just adjacently related to your YouTube channel, chances are you're going to have a journal full of 5 to 10 next video ideas, and you're going to have just little things popping off related to that. But again, what does industry research mean? It means you're paying attention to your research. What are the events? What are the workshops? What are the publications? What are the magazines? What are the blogs? What are the podcasts? Again, you go listen. I promise you, you take your niche, you find the top podcasts, you go listen to like one episode from each of them with a journal out. If you don't get a video idea, you're probably in the wrong industry, because when you get aligned with where your passion is and where a little bit of experience is, I'm not saying you have to be an expert, right? But like where you've got some experience in it, then like ideas will start popping off. What I've noticed, most people don't even do a quarter of this. They barely do this at all. Or a lot of times they don't really research at all. Research before you press record. Start coming up with better and stronger video ideas, and then start getting more views as a result. Which then finally, number 7 would be a competitor analysis. Sometimes, you know what one of my least favorite messages is in the creator economy, maybe business, is everyone quotes, comparison is a thief of joy. Can we stop it? I mean, I know it's true, but like, can we relax? Like that one has, comparison is the thief of joy. I like to say comparison is the thief of joy and the killer of creativity. And I agree with that message. That message couldn't be more powerful, because if you're comparing people and you feel insignificant because of who you're following on Instagram, or they're growing faster than me, or I wish I had, like all of that could be toxic. I think the problem is, though, that has set so many people up for failure, and is that you actually stopped comparing. I actually think comparison is the path to wisdom. Comparison is essential for business owners and entrepreneurs and smart content creators. Comparison is actually seeing what else is out there in the market so you can adapt your strategy accordingly. It would be incredibly foolish not to be studying and analyzing the competitors. Novices with hypersensitivity are afraid of comparing. And again, if it leads you to insecurity and all that kind of stuff, I think that's the thing to deal with. That's not what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about an issue of like worth here or something. I'm talking about, we're in a competitive landscape. You better be aware of some of the dynamics happening around you so you can strategize accordingly. So competitor analysis is key. Because again, in business, this is a classic one, is USP. Type that one out. USP. You ever heard of it before? What's it stand for? Unique selling proposition. It means your unique angle on why you're different, how you're different, how your channel is different. Hard to come up with. You might feel like, oh, there's nothing original. King Solomon said nothing's new under the sun. There's no new things anymore. Okay, it's tough. That's why you got to work hard. But you can find something. You know how many YouTube educations people are out there? Okay, cool. So Sean, why are you different? Well, many reasons. I think we have the biggest faculty in terms of inside of our group and whatnot. We've got the support and kind of like community, the most vibrant like group. And there could be things like that. But if I say what's the biggest reason we're different, it's because most people are just teaching random tactics that are good. Their information's good. Tactic here, strategy here, a few tips, some good information if you can apply that. But nobody's got a system. Like one of the things that makes this different is you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So having a system that's a repeatable process that you can use to reach success, it makes us different. Like that nobody, and here's a couple business words for you. Smart business owners in the education space, they come up with frameworks. They come up with a proprietary process. You ever heard somebody say that before? Maybe not, but they come up with like, oh, our proprietary process. Because you might say, what is it you do? Who, what, and why? What is it you do? I help people grow their YouTube channels. It's not unique. There's other people who do it. Okay, why? Like, how do you do it? This is how we start cutting out difference. How do we do it? Well, we do it with what's called our 7R Think Media system. And nobody else has the approach and the methodology that we have to growing, ranking videos, creating passive income. So our how is different. And then the other level that is different would be our why. And Simon Sinek said, start with why. Like we do it because we're like, to help 1 million purpose-driven people create a full-time living doing what they love while making a difference in the world with YouTube. And to have that success without losing your soul. I've heard 0 people say that their mission is to help people grow their YouTube channels and experience that success without losing their soul. That's different. And you might go, oh, this guy's kind of religious. I am. Like my faith is huge for me. I'm out of here. Great. I mean, we're definitely probably not going to be a good fit. We might be incompatible, swipe left or right. I don't know what you do on dating apps. Been married too many years, but, swipe and find somebody else. But when you share your why, that'll resonate. But what's your how? What's your how? Your USP, your unique selling proposition. I kind of broke that down from how we do it at Think Media to encourage you to study your competitors because you're like, how do they do it? What is their way of doing it? What is their way of creating content? What is their way of doing videos? What are some things? And then in light of that analysis, how can I be different? That's kind of a side quest because ultimately here we're talking about research, and competitor analysis would also be going to practically, number one, actually knowing who your competitors are, which a lot of people haven't even taken the time to really think about that. This would be market research. You're doing a competitive analysis. You wouldn't open up a restaurant in a city without seeing what other restaurants in the city, what other taco shops are there. If you hadn't, but maybe you would. And that's the problem, is you didn't actually research ahead. Is the city growing or dying? Is there new developments? Are people moving there? Is the market growing? What are the demographics in the city? Would there be people interested in tacos? I am interested in tacos. You got a taco? I'm starving right now. Is there people? And then what locations? What are the traffic patterns? Like where should we open it? Oh, this place for lease is on discount. Well, maybe there's a reason it's on discount because nobody goes to that side of town, or you didn't realize that someone just got stabbed over there and that one street over is a little sketch. So nobody actually, even if the tacos are good, people don't want to risk their life to go to that part of town. Competitor analysis, looking ahead. So you're looking at, okay, what on other people's channels? What are maybe some of their top videos, their top topics? What are some things I can learn there? What are something that's maybe proven to get views that I could do a unique spin on? That'd be competitor analysis. So again, we cover this deeper in other places, but I hope those are valuable. Which one do you like best? Is any of these new to you? Have you done any of these before? And can you add any value on the replay to maybe some topics or tools you use? Because this is a community, right? So here on our Think Media podcast channel, when we do the Coffee with Cannell show, check out the comment section because iron sharpens iron. So, which of these do you like best? Is there any tools you use to do any of these? Are any of these an aha moment? Did any of these stand out to you? Let me know. If you enjoyed this podcast and are ready for some deep dive YouTube strategy, just go to thinkmasterclass.com to get access to my 1-hour on-demand YouTube strategy class. You'll be looking over my shoulder as I share my best tips, and you can watch it on demand right now at thinkmasterclass.com.